Ladies and gentlemen, quite possibly the greatest grocery getter of all time. Oh, yes. Yeah, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, back at you with another Forza 6 video. In this one, we have a request from Mr. Melko JW on YouTube. He wants to see a Lexus ISF build. Now we do have I believe a Lexus build on the channel, but I don't think it's I think it's a GS350 if I'm not mistaken. So what we're gonna do is fast track here into the Lexus, and I believe I had already passed it, and there we are. And we are gonna go down, and as you can see in this game, I have not bought any of the Lexuses. SC300, also a very dope candidate, might be doing one of those in the near future. IS350 F Sport with the 3.5 liter, I believe, V6, just with the F package, and of course the 2009 Lexus ISF with the 5 liter motor. So we're gonna go ahead, buy this beast up, and see if we can make this thing a track ready monster. Now I believe this is rear wheel drive. Let's check out some of these designs. I'm not really thinking. We're going to keep this one a little bit classy, maybe a champagne color. Let's see if we got anything from the factory like that. Not really. White. I guess this is more of a sports car, not really one of Lexus's, older, stockish color. There we go. There we go. Normal colors. Let's see here. What do you guys think? Some champagne or something like that? Maybe a little bit lighter, darker. Let's do a light champagne color on this. Make it look kind of, incognito when it's cruising down the drag strip. But we are going to jump up into this one, so I just want to say welcome to the video. Welcome to the video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button. If you guys are not new, then you already know what's up, man. We are about to jump right into it, get into the upgrade shop, and get started. Let's check out first and foremost the engine swaps, which I don't think I'm going to do. 5.2 liter V10, holy shit, man. I don't think I'm going to do an engine swap just because this 5 liter is already a fucking monster. So we're going to go ahead and jump into, I'm thinking we're going to leave it rear wheel drive just to keep with the, the sportiness of the car. And aspiration conversion, stock naturally aspirated. I'm going to leave it naturally aspirated for the time being, just to really get an idea how that V8 motor performs. And next up, front bumper wise, I'm going to leave the splitter kit off just because it looks a little bit cleaner without it. And the rear spoiler, I'm thinking I'm probably just going to leave the way that it is. And let's back it on up. Check out our rubber options, obviously, because I want this thing to be a performer. I'm going to go with a race tire compound. Then we are going to widen up the tires, both back and front. Surprisingly, we can't go a little bit wider. We got a 285. Actually, that's pretty wide. Stock is 255. So yeah, that's a fair change, I'd say. That's good enough. And for the wheels, let's check out sport rims first and foremost. Those are looking pretty nice. Wish there was a little bit more of a lip on them. So let's continue, shall we? And BBSs, obviously a very dope choice. What do we got here? Those look all right. I just wish the spokes didn't didn't widen out near the lugs there, but we're gonna keep it moving. Those are nice. Could be a little bit bigger. Not really a fan of the chrome, but I guess we can paint them. This is always the slowest process here when we're making a car, is the rim selection, because it obviously is really what makes the car. And I'm liking these P104s. I don't even know who makes those. Is that a Santi? We are going to go ahead and install them nonetheless, and probably going to make it a little bit bigger. Let's see, 20 inches. We're going to go with the 20s on this just because it is a nice luxury vehicle. I want it to have a nice look to it. So that is looking proper. We got a little bit of, a little bit of offset happening, or I should say, yeah, offset's the correct word. So let's see. Clutch, gonna put in a nice clutch. I want this thing to be able to shift. And we are gonna throw in the sport transmission, just in case we want to make some adjustments there. And the differential, we're going to go race diff, just because this is going to be somewhat of a race car. Like I say, I'm going to keep the outside of it, as you can see with the champagne, I want to keep it, you know, moderately, just subtle, not something you'd really expect to be a track beast, but kind of granny-ish is really the look that I'm going for. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can do this. Anti-roll bar. Now I noticed that the way that the suspension dropped, it looks like we have a little bit more wheel gap in the front. Let me just back up and give you guys a little visual of that here. Oh, hold up, backed it up too far. Didn't want to go that far. I just wanted to give you guys an idea with the springs. As you can see, a little bit more wheel gap in the front than on the back. So I think what we're going to do is probably just lower the front and keep the back at the height that it is right now. But we're going to see once we get into the tuning aspect of it. So what I would like to do, since it's an A class, I'm just going to top it out in the class that it's in right now. If that made any fucking sense, probably not. Kind of confused myself there. 684 is what we are sitting at right now. So what I'm hoping to do, we're going to leave the cams the way that it is, just because I want to see like what it redlines at stock. But we're going to go ahead, intake manifold, 693 is where we're sitting right now. Well, let's go ahead and throw on the fuel system, and that's going to top us out at about 700. Now, we didn't do any major conversions as far as the aspiration goes, so we don't have easy power like turbos, superchargers, and I do want to be able to race this thing online, so I'm keeping it at the top of A class just because I don't think that I'm going to be able to, like if I go any more, we're going to be in the S class. I don't think I'm going to be able to top this out at the top of S class. So we're going to keep it A class for now. Let's go ahead and tune it before we do anything, just to see what we got here. Top speed 327, nothing out of the ordinary there. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of negative camber, a little bit more than stock actually, just to give us some good grip. Apply that. And our anti-roll bar is obviously going to be stiff, stiff, stiff. Gonna go ahead and do that. Springs, see, as you guys can see, we have quite a bit of play here that we can deal with these springs. So what I'm gonna do, stiffen up the front and rear. And down here, what I would like to do is, like I say, there's quite a bit of wheel gap up front as opposed to the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of rake on this so that the front dips down a little bit more than the back does. And we're going to keep the rear at stock height. So with that being done, we are going to back it on up. Back it on up, backing on up. My daddy taught me well. What are we doing here, man? Paint the car. We are going to do probably a nice tint on here. Paint, and we're probably going to take care of those wheels, maybe paint them black. Actually, I do kind of like the way that they look, and as you can see, that front end is tucking pretty well the same as the back. I'm liking it, and from just doing a little walk around, I think what I'm going to do, put on some black window tint, and let's see if we can get these things maybe... Yeah, I think we're going to go black with those. It just looks so much better. Now, actually, white doesn't look too bad either. The chrome, the stock chrome, you know what? For the OEM effect and being as stealth as possible and as sleeperish as possible, we are going to leave the wheel color the way that it is, you know, just to make it look like it's just maybe some old person who maybe slammed it and put some nice wheels on it, when in fact this thing hopefully will sound and perform a little bit better than a stock ISF. So let's go ahead and jump into the free play section of the game. Now what we are going to have to do, I would like to take it to the Top Gear test track. Now we did the G37 I think a few days ago, or maybe yesterday, depending on when this video was released. And we had a little bit of a hard time. It was lots of power. We put twin turbos on it. It was quite a bit to handle that, I have to say. So hopefully this car is a little bit more manageable, and we could probably hopefully lay down a little bit better time. I believe the G35 I ran 125 both times running off of the track. So yeah, that wasn't, you know, for the sake of the video, I didn't want to embarrass myself anymore. So hopefully we can get this thing around there. But first off, I'm going to take just a little practice lap and get the feel for this car. And I love the way this thing looks. Stance absolutely perfect. Interior super modern. But just look at that car. Like, honestly, it just looks clean. This is one of those cars that doesn't really need a lot of work. You put a nice set of wheels on it, lower it a little bit, and you're in the game. Lots of power off the bat. V8 motor just screaming. Downshift here. Get an idea of how much traction we got. Now, we did do a weight reduction on this car, as you guys saw. Woo! Ass end braking loose without any, like, barely any throttle. But surprisingly not overbearing, not something that's gonna, you know, catch you off guard. This is the big braking section here. I'm gonna short shift in a second just to keep that wheel spin down, but helped a little bit, not too much. I actually like this car. Now, the reason I wanted to keep it naturally aspirated is because when you get into the turbo and that turbo kicks in, sometimes all you get is just wheel spin. And this car does have wheel spin, but it's not nearly as you know, overpowerful as you can you know, control it. Oh man, off the track again near the end here. Sorry, I kind of knew that was coming, so I was having a little bit of trouble gathering my thoughts there. But yeah, the car is not super fast to the point where it's uncontrollable. It's really what I wanted to get to in that point. So what I'm going to do here, we just got one practice lap down. Just going to get the feel for this a little bit more. And then we're going to restart this and see if we can get a half decent lap down. And that first lap, 123, which was a pretty good time, but that was my first time out in this car, and I'm starting to feel the limits of the car. So we're just going to go ahead and restart this race and see if we can get a little bit of a better time here. Now, I kind of have the hang of this car, but I think a couple more laps would really help. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to get right into it. Heavy on the gas, redlining, tire spin, all signs of a healthy V8. Should have had a V8. Coming into this corner always overthrows me, so I'm going to go ahead and brake a little bit early. Keep her in second gear. Roll on the throttle. Big brake in here. What I like about this car is when you turn the wheel, it goes where you want. Now, a lot of cars in this game tend to, when you hit the brakes, that front end just locks up and it just does not steer. This car, surprisingly manageable in a second. Lots of wheel spin. Hammer down, big time. Hit 190 on that little straight. That was pretty fast. Coming in hot. 203. Try to keep this tire spin down to a minimum before we cross this finish line. So a 121.6. I believe we did a 120 in the S2000 that was supercharged, and a terrible 125 in the G37. So that's pretty respectable, man, considering this car is a big luxury car with a V8. It's quite nimble, gets around the track pretty well, so I am thoroughly impressed with this build. I hope you guys like the fact that I kept it sleeperish. Oh, just barely hits that wall. We're gonna do this little Photoshop right here where we pulled it off. Smoking and all of that goodness. Look at that. That's a friggin' epic shot right there. So, with that being said, we are going to put an end to this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. And if you guys want to see more, don't forget to check out the channel. We got all kinds of playlists and tons of videos going back for quite a while now. And don't forget to, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. So, with that being said, this is going to be the end of the video. I'm your boy, Don Squally. I just want to say thank y'all for watching. And we're going to catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace.